China warns the UK to «step back from the brink» after Boris Johnson offers 3 million Hong Kong citizens refuge in Britain.
Here's a summary of the article.
China on Wednesday told Britain to «step back from the brink» and «stop interfering» in China's affairs after Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he would offer 3 million Hong Kong citizens the right to come live in the UK. Johnson had said earlier that he would have no choice but to offer UK visas to millions of Hong Kong residents if China pushed ahead with national security legislation that critics fear would remove freedoms in the semi-autonomous region. Writing in the Times of London, the Prime Minister said the legislation would dramatically erode the autonomy of Hong Kong, which enjoys judicial and political independence from mainland China. He said that if China were to enact the law, he would offer a 12-month extendable visa to all Hong Kong citizens eligible to apply for a British national overseas passport, some 3 million people. If China imposes its national security law, the British government will change its immigration rules and allow any holder of these passports from Hong Kong to come to the UK for a renewable period of 12 months and be given further immigration rights including the right to work, which would place them on the route to citizenship. We advise the UK to step back from the brink, abandon their Cold War mentality and colonial mindset, and recognise and respect the fact that Hong Kong has returned to China, Zhao Lijian, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman, said at a briefing, according to Agence France Presse. The UK has asked other close allies to consider offering residency to Hong Kong citizens if they flee. Dominic Raab, the Foreign Secretary, told the House of Commons on Tuesday that he had invited the so-called Five Eyes intelligence-sharing nations, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, the United States, and Canada, to offer visas to Hong Kong residents.
This post received a score of 45,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than, we advise the UK to step back from the brink, abandon their Cold War mentality and colonial mindset, and recognise and respect the fact that Hong Kong has returned to China, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian said at a regular briefing, according to AFP. Step back from the brink of what?
Interestingly, I think offering citizenship isn't exactly a colonial mindset.
I think they view this as meddling with an internal Chinese issue, which the British have a long history of doing. I don't agree, just that's how the Chinese leadership probably view it and that's why they played the colonialism card.
They view it as giving people in Hong Kong an alternative to their government and don't want to be embarrassed when they choose not China.
Hong Kong citizens are well-educated, high-earning people. Losing them would mean losing tax income for the CCP.
On top of the fact Hong Kong will now be subject to tariffs normally imposed on China. HK was their workaround, but not anymore.
HK represented two-thirds of China's foreign investment. It's not just a big deal, it's entirely possible China could fall literally from just losing HK.
I've also read that HK, while formerly a massive part of the Chinese GDP, now accounts for only about 2%. So I'm sure China's economy will be okay. I'm shocked and happy the UK is extending a pledge of citizenship to so many former Commonwealth folk.
But trade deals, contracts, and international trade move through HK en masse. GDP is a very limited number and does not inform true economical health, just overall revenue numbers. For instance, say 30% of income comes in through HK's ports but its revenue is gathered by the company in Shanghai. Then Shanghai claims that GDP. Good example is New York gains a chunk of its GDP from ports in New Jersey.
This is why the US designating the HK as not autonomous from mainland China was important.
He's trying to step back from the brink, finally, and banning Huawei from 5G.
Don't understand why China doesn't see this as good thing. People in Hong Kong who holds anti-China views are all gonna move to UK. The only ones left are going to be either pro-China or doesn't care about politics. Instead of these constant protests, Hong Kong will be much more stable after every anti-China person moves out. Also Hong Kong is so dense, probably good idea to let some people go.
HK migrants in the UK will be able to keep the protests against China alive. While, if they stay in HK, China will be able to crush them at leisure.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.